You all know the old joke, don't you? Why do all the Episcopalians sit in the back pews?
No seats in the parking.
Because there's no pews in the parking lot. That's right, Ron. That's exactly right. Ron's heard that one before. So we're not putting pews in the parking lot. Let me tell you. Nice to have you all here on this sunny day. What a beautiful bit of transfiguration the sun provides, right? Shining like the face of Jesus, let's say, instead. Are you ready? Are you? Maybe? No? Yes? What are we talking about?
Spring.
Right? Spring? Yeah, you ready for spring? Yeah. Are you prepared? No, definitely not prepared. You know the answer to that one, right? Are you ready to be changed? Because that's what we actually just prayed. Was anybody paying attention when you read the collect? That's your desire. That's your wish that you shared. Are you ready and prepared to be changed into being the face of a God, our God, that shines the light like you're seeing outside on the world? Oh, now I'll ask you, are you ready? Are you prepared? No, of course not. In our lessons today, I want you to remember that there is a season and a time to be prepared, and that starts now. That starts today. That starts this week. That starts again in the church calendar with Lent, right around the corner, starting this Wednesday. And that's what the Israelites are doing in our story from Exodus with Moses. We don't actually hear about Moses receiving the Ten Commandments in this story, do we? No. Now, what we hear about is that they've been told that they should go and get ready to receive them. Because even the receiving takes time. In a world where we're able to pull our phone out and get the answer to something in 5 seconds, or we try to fit 4 more things into the day, or somebody out there is telling you, you can do a little more today, just get up 10 minutes earlier, just do a little bit more, just squeeze one more thing in. God is telling the Israelites and all of us that when you want to shine like the face of God, because after Moses goes up to this mountain and comes down, his face shines too, right? He's been present with God. The first thing you have to do is slow down, not speed up. It takes 7 days for them, even before Moses goes up the mountain and the clouds descended. A full week. The amount of time it took the Creator to make the universe. It takes a full week just for them to be ready to go and receive the Word. And then, if you were listening, Moses needs 40 days up on the mountain to receive that illumination from God, to reach a deeper relationship with ourselves, with our families, with our histories, with our church, with our broken country. It takes time. There is no substitute for it. If we want deeper relationship or new patterns of thinking, and if we want to actually be able to share that with others, first we have to prepare. Prepare. Because as often after the fact as it seems obvious that the new pattern or the new relationship or the new idea was right there to be understood all along. In the moment, it's never obvious. It takes intentional time to listen, to watch, to observe, to be still, to be silent, to take notes, to leave behind our preconceived ideas of how this has to work, and to be patient, patient with ourselves, silent before others, ready to listen to the voice of God. Because that's how it's always worked, and that's how it always will. No matter 3G, 4G, 5G, or 100G on your phone, no matter if they put a computer chip in your brain someday, when you're ready to see new patterns, when you're ready to enter new relationship, you will have to prepare by finding intentional time. After all, isn't that really what Isaac Newton was doing when he was sitting under the apple tree and the apple hit him on the head? Hadn't he seen all kinds of things fall before that? But because he'd slowed down enough, the new obvious, intentional pattern of gravity revealed itself to him. Isn't that what happened to Darwin when he traveled around the world on the Beagle and only observed and took notes, letting go of his preconceived ideas? That the obvious interrelationship of all the plants and animals and where they've come from in this world now had space to be radiant and shine for him. It is what our prehistoric ancestors did when they figured out what plants and nuts they could eat. It is what the scientists are doing right now when they're trying to figure out the coronavirus. They are taking time to listen, to be patient, to try to have a new understanding. And the Bible is full of these stories. Samuel, the boy in the temple, when he's finally quiet, then God can speak to him. Joshua wrestling with the angel. Only after the angel knocks his hip out of joint, so Joshua has to slow down, can he receive God's blessing. Jonah, running from God as fast as he can, has to be swallowed by a whale. So he can't get away or move anymore, so that God's word can finally work on him and radiate out from him to the world. And even the great evangelist Paul has to be knocked off a horse and made blind and spend 3 days in that state so that God will finally have time to speak to and through him. It is God's work for us, God's desire for us to sit at the foot of the mountain, to take the time to be surrounded in that mist and just be present with God, For as much time as it took to create the earth, and then to go into an intentional season of listening and receiving the word, because it will transform us. And as we prayed, as we asked, we then will be changed into his image, the image of light in the world, the light that allows for new discoveries, new innovations, new relationships, breakthroughs in everything from how we understood our mother, to our children, to our boss, to our church, to the person sitting next to you in the pew. It is these forms of new relationship that Moses goes up the mountain to receive. And for the next 40 days on Sunday, we will begin our services by reciting them to remind ourselves that this is a season to get ready, to prepare. Remind yourself what those are. Those commandments really boil down to things like everyone and God are due our respect. Worship just this one God. Let go of all the rest. Worship with care and attention. Take a day without work. Rest. Build healthy relationships with your family, with your friends. Come on in. Here's a healthy relationship right now. With those who belong to us. And healthy relationships with our belongings. No lying. No cheating. No stealing. No greed. If we take these 40 days to prepare, then we will be changed as we pray together. But it has to be an intentional choice. What will you do for this season of Lent? What discipline will you take on, not simply because you really can't hardly live without chocolate or your favorite TV show, or keeping the TV on while you sleep, but because you want to watch, listen, observe, be still. How will you use this time? How will you be changed? How will you be transformed so that you shine more closely like the light that shines for the world? Amen.